controversies when it comes to organic food. Okay, these are some of the main controversies that are put in controversies that have to deal with organic foods. One being taste. Okay, if you were to look up all the main controversies having to do with the taste of organic foods, you will come to all kinds of studies that say, it's both taste and nutrition, that say organic food tastes better and is more nutritious than conventional food, or conventional food and organic food, there is no difference in taste or nutrition, or, I mean, they all contradict one another. All of them. Every doggone one of them. Okay? And you don't know what to believe. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you a few things. Number one, when you're reading a study, no matter what the study is on, do two things for me, please. Number one, look and see who did the study. And number two, look to see who paid to have the study done. There's a reason for that. Okay? There was a study recently stating that conventional food was no more or no less nutritious than organic and had no less taste than organic. It was blasted all over. It was on the cover of the New York Times, USA Today, everything. So I'm like, okay, what's up with this? Let me look at this. So I looked at it. Turns out it was a study funded by major food corporations. Okay? And it was Harvard, whatever, the science department that did the study. We researched it further, and what happened is that those major food corporations were donating millions of dollars to build a new lab for that school. Okay? Now, don't think that these researchers are going to bold-face lie. They won't. They cherry-pick information, is what they do. Let me give you an example of how this works. Okay? You own Philip Morris. That's a tobacco company. Huh? You own Philip Morris, the tobacco company. You have gotten so much heat in the past decade, you guys are paying millions of dollars in ad campaigns telling people not to smoke. Because the lawsuits, you're losing money hands over fist. You used to be on top. Okay? You're losing a lot of money. You've got to battle all these things that say that smoking is bad for you. Okay? You hire this guy right here.
Some of your lobbyists.
Okay? Yeah. He's a scientist, and he's over at, I don't know, Yale. Okay? Science department, or what's a big...
Right, top notch.
Huh? Yeah.
Top notch.
Yeah.
Okay? And you tell him, look, you need to do some studies here, and you need to find out something good about my cigarette. Okay?
Okay.
So he gets his team. He's like, I'm gonna build you guys. I'm gonna give you millions of dollars if you come up with something.
I want to say there's this 12-year-old in the Philippines who chain smokes 3 packs a day. He's perfectly healthy.
You can't lie.
Oh,
You cannot lie.
they got videos.
All right? You got to get creative. So you come back, and Philip Morris says, all right, tell me what you found. All right, well, first off, it causes cancer. All right, we know that. Keep going. Secondhand smoke causes. We know that. Keep going. Well, heart disease. We know it. Keep going. Move on. Tell me something good. Well, it raises the metabolism. What? Yeah, it raises the metabolism. Wait a minute. Would that mean weight loss? Yeah, actually it would. Got it. It's crazy. Now the New York Times is printing up a thing that Yale School of Science and Medicine releases a statement saying that cigarettes raise your metabolism and therefore will help battle the biggest health epidemic in the country, obesity.
I like the donuts,
That's great. There you go. That's cherry picking. All right? And that's how it works. All right? Now, if you're asking me, chef, is organic food, does it taste better and is it more nutritious than conventional food? I can only tell you my opinion. But here's what else I can tell you. I was very fortunate. I went to a convention about a year or two ago, and a woman got up to talk, and she worked for the CDC. Now, this is one organization I'd like to think that has I'm sure, is somewhat corrupt, because they all are, but I'd like to think it's the least corrupt of all our government agencies, because, the Center for Disease Control, who wants to mess with them? Keep us healthy. You do what you got to do. Just, we don't want any outbreaks or any of that. So I'd like to think. So this woman worked for the CDC, and she was in charge of a research team, and she researched for 10 years trying to find the best diet to promote good health and prevent disease. 10 years they researched this. And for a couple of those years they spent time on organic food. Okay? And they found some interesting facts. First off, there's a word you're going to hear quite a bit when it comes to good health and plants. A word called phytochemicals. You're going to hear it a lot. You'll see it a little bit in here in this class. You'll see it just when you look up nutritional facts. Phytochemicals. Huh? What?
Where are you at? There's one that you woke up late.
No.
All right. What these are is they are antibodies in a plant, kind of like us, white blood cells. They're our immune system, right? We all have them. It's in our immune system. These are like the antibodies in a plant. It helps them fight off disease, just like our immune system helps us fight off disease. Okay? You know how when they tell us if we take too many antibiotics, our immune system is shot? Mm-hmm. Because what happens is when we take the antibiotics, our body, our white blood cells stop producing because we're taking it in chemical form. That's what's happening. All right? Same thing happens with plants. Plants have natural disease resistance called phytochemicals. When we're spraying it with pesticides and fertilizers and herbicides and all that, that's like us taking too many antibiotics. The plant stops producing the phytochemicals. Do you understand?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, this research team found that the majority of flavor and nutrients in a plant is in the phytochemicals. So knowing that, you can think, well, wait a minute, that means that if you don't spray it, it has more phytochemicals, and if it has more phytochemicals, it has more flavor and more nutrition. Pretty much. That's what that means. So does it? In my opinion, yes. But it does not have, organic food does not have more taste or more nutrition if it's coming from another country. Or California, which might as well be another country. Because it traveled too far and stored too long. Which is why the majority of our organic food at the grocery store, the produce, looks like crap. And doesn't taste all that good. That's why. So, am I telling you, go ahead, buy organic produce in the grocery store? When we're talking about produce, I'm telling you, just buy local. okay? And quite honestly, the best way to buy that local is to go to the farmer's market. Remember the outside place? Because the outside place, it didn't travel far. And those farmers, if they're out in a tent in the parking lot, trust me, they cannot afford and do not do enough production to be using these herbicides and pesticides. They are growing in the organic style. They just don't have the money to be certified organic by the USDA. So that's a six-figure ordeal. And they don't have that kind of money. Okay? So that's what I'm telling you, just buy local. When it comes to meats, though, you tell me. I don't know. I taste tested organic against, and you will too in contemporary cuisine. Huge difference in flavor, if you ask me. Huge. Okay? But quite honestly, as far as nutrition, well, we got something that's been irradiated that killed everything, and something that wasn't. I think I would go with something that wasn't, as far as nutrition. It's up to you. As far as nutrition with beef, I can tell you right now, grass-fed beef is high in omega-3 fatty acid. Grain-fed beef is not. Omega-3 fatty acid is the same thing they tell you to eat salmon for.
It has more than salmon.
It does.
It also contains...
Wouldn't you like to have a big, fat, juicy burger that's better for you than salmon? I know I would. I like salmon, but I'd rather have that burger.
Yeah.
And the grass-fed beef contains linoleic acid, which naturally fights cancer.
Yeah.
And it comes from the chlorophyll.
Can you believe that? Beef that's good for you. Because let me tell you something, grain-fed beef, I don't care what cut it is not good for you. I don't care. I don't care if it's the leanest cut on that animal, it is not good for you. It's not at all. There's nothing good about it. Yeah.
So how would they label that? Would it just be like, you know, it's chicken, free range?
It's grass-fed.
Grass-fed. Grass-fed, yeah.
Grass-fed.
And
You're not even on that one, you're not even looking for the organic USDA. You're looking for grass-fed. That's it.
The country club, what they use.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they sell it.
What, who?
Where?
Oh, Kroger and Publix.
Devil Garden.
Grass-fed, yeah.
Kroger sells it?
Walmart does not.
No, Walmart, you forget that.
Walmart does not. Walmart does not do anything. The only thing Walmart does is they have now made a law among their stores not to no longer sell milk with RBST, which is the growth hormone that's causing all kinds of woman cancers. And men now, too. That's why men are now, teenage boys now have to take that HPV shot because of those growth hormones.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the only thing Walmart does. You will not find grass-fed, you will not find organic meats, you will not find any of that.
Place you want to buy
I don't even know if they sell organic milk. Do they?
I don't shop at Walmart. I can go in there if there's a gun to my head. I do.
I go in Walmart, but I go for, not for food.
I studied a lot
I
about
do
Walmart.
not go for
when
food, I go for other stuff.
Horrible company.
Oh, you don't tell me, I hate that I go there. I hate it, I hate that I go there, but what I go there for, I went there just 2 or 3 days ago. What was I there for? Oh, I was there for a vacuum cleaner bag. Vacuum cleaner bag. And it was sad, I was with my boyfriend. This is the sad part, this is what I said to myself, all right, I gotta get the hell out of this place. Because we were walking, and I'm going towards the vacuum section, and he goes, I need to get deodorant. And he goes, where's the deodorant? And I'm like, it's over there, honey, right before the food. And I'm thinking, oh, crap, why do I know that? Damn it.
You're in there a lot.
I hate that I know that.
You're in there a lot. More than you know, you're in Walmart.
Yeah. Yes.
I couldn't find that. Okay, they use all these enhancers with food, also smell enhancers that you buy, and it doesn't have a taste a lot of times. You just have that smell to make you think it tastes like something. But the food doesn't taste all that great.
Well, you know what? Funny thing is meat to me. When you guys taste test in contemporary cuisine, you'll taste what you've eaten all your life, and you'll say, yeah, that's good, because we're going to flavor it up. We're going to make it taste good. And you're like, yeah, that's good. And then you'll taste the organic, and you're like, that tastes like meat. Like, exactly. The other one just tastes like everything you put in there.
Okay.
But the organic tastes like everything you put in there, and then meat.
Then meat.
And it's like meatier. And it's like, hey. You know? Huh?
You don't need as much seasoning for like grass-fed.
Right. Salt and pepper.
Salt,
Done.
pepper, and that's banging.
That's it, yeah.
You know, big flavors for them, salt, pepper, that's it.
All right, safety. There's another controversy. Safety. The big food guys will tell you organic food is not safe because it's not irradiated. Because, well, because it wasn't genetically modified to avoid some certain kind of disease in the plant. Because, and it's kind of like, okay, I mean, that's on you to decide. How safe is irradiated? How safe is genetically modified? We don't know. We do know that we've somehow survived thousands of years without that.
Yeah.
Right.
And our water was good.
Okay? Now, an argument I hear often, this is an argument I hear often, and I need to hit it home in this class more than any other class I teach. I hear, but chefs, our life expectancy is longer now than it ever was. Because people say that. They say that to me when I say, well, all the things they're doing with food, we don't know if it's safe. And people say, but chef, we live longer. And I said, we need to go back to the way the caveman was, and all that way. And they say, but we live longer than the caveman.
Because they had predators that were chasing them.
But do we live longer than Moses and Abraham? But that's not my point. Here's my point. You might not know this, but guess what? We are now, this generation coming in is the first generation ever that will not live as long as their parents.
Wow.
Did you know that?
Wow.
Any child born after the year 2000 will die at a younger age than their parents. So it's changed. Our life expectancy is starting to shorten.
Based on our diet here.
And there's one other thing I just want to show you before we move on to the next slide. How many of you are parents? Okay. How many are parents? All right. Remember I talked about, I've got this. Remember I talked about this woman, what's her name, Robin
O'Brien.
Robin O'Brien. Remember I talked about her?
Yeah.
I told you about the slide she had with the 2 cereal bars.
Yes.
She had another slide that just blew my mind. I almost hated her because of it. Because, let me tell you why. I am not rich by any means. And when I go grocery shopping, I think I have 2 kids that I have to protect here. That's what I'm thinking. And I pick and choose what I'm going to buy that I can afford, what I'm going to make a little bit better quality over other things, with their health in being my main priority. And as I do this, and I look in my wallet, and I look at the food, I tell myself sometimes when I pick up the one that's cheaper as opposed to the one that's better for us, when I pick that up, I say, well, my mom didn't buy organic, and I'm okay. That's what I tell myself. That's how I kind of subside the guilt.
Justified.
Yeah.
Then this comes along and ruins it for me. All right. I'm going to show you what she showed us. All right. So let me see how this works. Say back 1980, 1990, 2000, 2010, and so on.
Sorry, guys, I understand.
And these, let's just say, are all the different synthetic and artificial and chemical-based additives in food. Okay? The synthetic, the chemical, the artificial, the additives, the GMOs, the pesticides, the herbicides, the antibiotics, the hormones, all this stuff. That's what those are. Okay? So the food in 80 was right about there. 90. 2000. My point is this, what I was raised on is not what my kids are being raised on. You see that?
It was.
Huh?
You knew where your food came from at that time.
Even though my mom didn't buy organic,
My grandparents think
it was the food did not have anywhere near what it has in it now. So basically, even those of you that are born in 1980 or 90, your kids, it's only getting worse from here, guys. So we can't even do that anymore. So those of us that are procreating, we're screwed. What?
Damn breeders.
I'm done now, man. I'm done. Go ahead.
When we were younger, when I was younger, I don't know about anybody else, but grandmother had fruit trees,
Yeah.
about great big gardens.
Yeah.
And, you know, every kind of fruit you could think of, we had it right there.
Okay, so that was your grandmother. Did your mother?
Nah.
Okay, so there's where it was lost right there. And are you over 30? Okay, so but realize that there are some people in this class that it would have been their great. But we all had it. We all had that person in our family. But some of you are so young, you are so disconnected from that person, you don't know you have it, but you do. Because everyone did. Everyone's family had that.
Yeah.
Everyone. And that spans economics too. And race and everything. I'm talking everyone. Everyone. Yes.
Because my aunt, I could never understand, she has her own garden, and when she go get her meat, she goes to the farm. And I could never understand why she would take that route to get her food. But since I come to school, been in class, so now I understand why. And that's always been in our family, and to the day, she still has her garden, and she still goes to the farm to get her meat.
Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
know, I mean, as a child, I mean,
Yeah.
I never did quite agree with it, but at this point in time now, I have tremendous amount of respect for hunters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah,
I mean.
I do too.
The rednecks and the hunters.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
told you, we all do now. We've elevated them, rednecks
Yeah.
and hunters and farmers.
She get her fish from people who fish, they'll bring the fish by, and she'll buy it from them.
Yep.
And she'll get a pig.
And the guy, I love the migrant worker with the Toyota or the Datsun. That's how old it is. And there's watermelon on the back. Love him. Hey, Sue, come here.
Yeah. I never understand that, but now I do.
Yep.
Now I do.
Yep.
I appreciate it more.
All right, we have guys, we have a question over here. Yes, darling.
Just a comment. Yesterday, I turned over a pack of this bear claws. My daughter loves these bear claws.
Yeah, like the honey bun thing.
Okay, you know what is basic sweet flour, sugar, and it was about like 30 things, and
I know.
I couldn't even, now,
Yeah.
I just dropped my.
How old is your daughter?
She's 17.
Oh, 17?
She's tiny, but I'm just like, oh my God, look what I'm feeding.
I know. You know what I used to do to my kids? It'd piss them off. When I used to make the mistake of taking them with me to the grocery store. And they'd say, Mom, will you get this? And I said, if you can pronounce everything on the ingredient label, you can have it. Oh, that would piss them off. Yeah. Really? Oh, wow.
All girls.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay.
Yes, growing up in where I'm from in Guyana, I grew up seeing my grandmother. We would, instead of buying the canola oil, she would use the coconut. We would grate it
Yeah.
and cook practically everything with it.
She turned the coconut into oil?
Yes, you grate it.
How cool is that?
You grate it, you squeeze the juice out of it.
Yeah.
And you can cook anything with it. And if you should put that on the hot pot and let that cook down, eventually it will turn to oil. And then I think recently, a few years back, I heard that they were saying that studies showed that coconut oil is not good for you. And then after a few years again, they said that it is good
That's
for
why
you.
nutrition is a young science. They
Yeah,
say
so-
coconut oil is bad for you, now it's good for you.
The
So growing
paleo
up,
diet
we
encourages you to
coconut-
cook everything with coconut.
Yes, we did not purchase any oil. We cooked everything with the coconut oil. And then we would, eventually you grate about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you just squeeze it, leave it overnight, take the cream off, and you would boil that, and eventually you would get a bottle of oil like this, and that is what we used to cook with. But now there's so many different oils that they have out there that
Yeah.
you don't know which one is, which one is good, which one is bad.
Yeah.
They say olive oil is
Grapeseed oil is good for you, olive oil. Yeah.
Pecan, grow this wild. And, brimstone. And I actually had a lady come by and she bought. Most people buy them like 4 or 5 pounds. She actually went online and she's gonna make
Pecan milk? Oh, yeah, that's easy.
like soy milk and.
Yeah, you can make, one thing I can tell you, I'll tell you guys right now, I tell you contemporary cuisine, everybody should invest in a Vitamix blender. Because you can make all your bean milk, your nut milk, you can make all your flours, your almond flour, your pecan flour, your bean flour, your rice flour. Yeah.
I've never heard of anybody making that.
Pecan milk, I think, would be a little bitter. But you can